Yes, we're back with another future Endeavours podcast. We're all back again. It's been a long time since we've all been back. Miles, Abs, Kalechi, we're all here. It's been forever, actually. How long has it been?
Month,
God
maybe,
knows.
since we all
I
got
said
together.
probably a month,
Definitely a month. Definitely a month.
Well, this is the issue. We're all hardworking people, but listen, we love wrestling. We got some things to talk about. Obviously, Money in the Bank is coming to the ends. We need to talk about it. Who's excited? Who's going? I might go. Miles, where you gonna
Oh
be
no,
at?
I'm not going. I'm going. Like
You're there.
I'm going. Like,
You're
I will
there.
be there. I'm
I
there.
hear it.
SmackDown and Money
Abs.
in the Bank.
Listen,
Abs.
listen, Miles is going. I've already gone. I'm
Man said
there
he won.
already. I've
Man said
already
he's
he
gone.
cashing in, He's
Catch
cashing
it.
LA
in.
Knight, forget about it. I'm
he
cashing in
said
already.
he won the thing. He's won it already. Pay per view's already over. That's mad. And Kalechi, you're on the fence, brother.
I'm with you, man. We got to wait a week before
No,
the
listen.
event to
The
get those
difference.
tickets.
Listen, I'm trying to be there. Listen, if I am not there, it's gonna be a travesty. Like it's
Bro,
gonna
that's the
Wait,
be.
same feeling
why
for
are
me.
you wait, Keanu? Why are you like still hanging on? Because like hanging around because you're not getting your SmackDown, but yeah, the one show you can go to,
Listen,
you're
who said I might not get SmackDown? Who said that?
Ooh,
He said that.
ah,
Listen, I'm just waiting for some things to fall in line, innit? And
I
then we
see.
can, what I'm saying, we can get there,
I
be on
see.
both days,
Let's
Friday
see
and
what the card is
Saturday.
saying because I'm not
Listen,
too hyped about the card yet,
listen,
but we'll
me,
get into that.
I'm not a man who has to worry about the card. I'm worrying about the vibes. And
Yeah,
if
no,
I'm thinking
fair.
about the vibes
But
from last time
if you're
when we was
paying
in
£700
Cardiff,
Listen,
for that, then
listen,
you've got
man,
to enjoy the card as well, man.
listen,
At
as me
least.
and Miles always say, money ain't a thing, baby. It's all about the
When did
exactly.
I say that?
moments.
When did I say
Hey,
that?
listen,
Man,
When did I
that's
say
not
that?
FIFA
I'm
money. That's
just
not FIFA money
Hold
speaking. That's
on.
not FIFA money
I'm
speaking.
Hold
just
on.
listen. If it was FIFA money speaking, I would already
Hold
be
on.
there.
These are false narratives. When have I ever said that in a public
Listen,
setting?
you're a man of enjoyment. That's all it is. You're a man of enjoyment. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
Like you're
God.
out,
No,
as one would say, you're outside. You know
I'm
what I'm
not
saying?
saying
You're
definitely.
outside. But listen, we obviously there's not much been announced already. But are we generally excited for the vibes of Money in the Bank?
I, I'd probably say you are because what you're getting in the show is you're getting two marquee matchups in terms of the ladder matches. So you know you're getting excitement there. Regardless of the people who are participating or not, you're still going to get an exciting match and you're going to get something with a bit of longevity and stuff like that. And then on top of that, you've got some good storylines that are going into this pay per view. So it's not like a wash away event. Like you said, the bloodline and stuff, it's just escalating a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. So you're getting that. And then, like, yeah, you could say you've got other matches who are potentially filler, but still with high profile names. So, like, overall, I think you said it before in chats and stuff like WWE are nailing their premium live events, whether it be here, internationally, or in the US. And I think they've done how many now outside? I think every event since WrestleMania has been international, and they've hit it out of the park. And I expect the same still.
Yeah, that's true. I actually didn't clock that. I didn't clock that all of them have been outside the US. So, but we already know that Triple H has been trying to sort this thing out as well. Like he's been trying to build the global brand and all of that. So we know this. Miles, you said, is this is your first WWE event, isn't it?
My first WWE event. Oh yeah, I've not even done
Oh,
like the
Not
live.
house shows or nothing.
Oh, nothing.
Oh,
excitement, bro.
One because the live shows it doesn't really do anything for me.
It's a
Just to see.
simulation of the real ticket.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
went to a TNA one years ago and that was great. But nah, not for WWE.
TNA,
Yeah,
damn.
but TNA,
Is that
bro.
is that in the Samoa Joe days or like?
That's how I got into the game. I mean, I was there from the like AJ Styles, the beginning, like when he was doing 450s and that. Like
Oh, that was a good era.
his knees were fresh, and then all the way through,
Imagine his knees are fresh.
all the way through the main event mafia and all of them men coming in. Yeah, I was there from the beginning. So TNA is my first
Miles
love.
is talking wrestling heritage right now.
listen,
We
Yeah,
love to
I
see it.
remember Booker T doing commentary with Kevin Nash with main event, and then he's just commentating himself, beating people up. That was peak TNA, but
yeah.
nah, I
No,
hear it, Miles, man.
that's real wrestling heritage. Kalechi, obviously, how do you feel? Like, obviously, as you said, not much has been announced as of just yet. But like, what's your regardless of whether you get to the building or not? Like, what's your general vibe of how things are feeling building up to Money in the Bank? Anyway,
Well, it's in the UK, so I'm obviously hyped about that, especially when I get my ticket. But because of the matches on the card at the moment, it's not really giving me much excitement because Dom versus Cody, nothing there for me. The 6-man ladder match, there's no one really in that match that's really gonna make me want to tune in. Like the lead up and the storyline for that match hasn't been very good. So yeah, and you guys know how I feel about Finn and Seth Rollins. We've seen that on Raw a couple weeks ago. They gave it away for free. When did WWE ever do that? Like they give away a match for free and then have it in the pay-per-view. It's just not how they roll. So I don't know. I feel like
they do
Yeah, go
that,
on.
but they do it more in the reverse. Like they'll do a match
Yeah.
at a pay per view and then they'll do it probably like the next night as like a rematch thing. But
yeah, that's a good way to do it. But if you're making people spend more money on something that we've already seen for free, that's
so you
crazy.
don't think so you don't think that they can step up or go to a different level when it comes to pay per view time? Also, you have to remember there's a decent amount as it is so far. There's a decent amountage of UK guys who are on the card already. So you don't think somebody like Finn is gonna come home or relatively come home because obviously he's not from England, but come home and not take it to level 15.
It depends, you know. Like, is he bringing the demon or just normal Finn?
No,
He's not-
normal.
he's
No.
not.
We don't know, bro.
We don't know.
Listen, there's still 2 weeks to
Bro,
go.
that demon gets slapped up as well. No, man.
No, that's actually so true.
See, but this
Bro,
is
that
true.
demon has lost all its
Crawling
value.
around on the floor to just get thumped in the face. No, man.
Bro,
Yeah.
he's lost 1 match. What we doing?
Nah, he's
What
lost
we
2.
doing? What 2?
As a demon, I think it's just one.
Yeah, he lost. Didn't he not lose against Edge? Or am I bugging? At WrestleMania
No, he
and
was-
then Roman Reigns as well.
Okay, 2. All right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Oh, Roman Reigns and Edge. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
No,
The 2
this
of the
is the
biggest
thing,
names
though,
at
like-
wrestling, but it's all right.
The show itself, like, it's doing what it's meant to do. Like, it's still giving you top talent that people want to see. Like you said about Cody and Dominic, the fans want to see Cody, and we all know that Cody eventually will face Brock at SummerSlam. That's kind of the direction they're going. But to not shortchange the fans like last year, where he was meant to be at Clash, but he got injured, you put him in something where people can be happy about it, and that's where you get Dominic and stuff. But so I get that it's like I said, there's some filler matches, but that filler matches include superstars that fans want to see, and so people are not shortchanged, and that's why when you're paying the big money, like we are for Money in the Bank, because them tickets are insanely overpriced, you're still getting the talent that everyone's getting, so you're not going to go home disappointed too much. And again, Dom's the best heel in wrestling, so his reaction overall, like they saw what happened at Clash when he turned heel. Imagine the O2 and what the reaction is going to be. So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, man, we said it on the pod. We said it here bare times. That's the second top heel in the company. But as we said, we've been away for a long time. There's been a lot of things happening. New champs, like new belts, all of them things there. New feuds, like Miles. We talked about like as we've been going for a while. As I said, new belts. We got some new belts up, some new silverware around. How empty is your wallet going to be by the end of next month?
Yeah, like obviously, some funds have to be released. I'm not gonna lie to you. One because I've got the original black WWE belt, but
Come
I need the gold one. I actually like the gold one. I know Kelechi isn't a fan. The one I
As in
really
the
want-
Roman Reigns gold
the
or
Roman
Seth
Reigns
Rollins
gold.
gold.
The Roman Reigns
Okay.
gold. The other one is so ugly.
What?
I hate
What, Seth's
it.
one?
I hate everything about it. Everything. It's awful. They put that horrible WWE in the middle of it, which just looks so out of place. It's too big. Like, nah, not for me. So Roman Reigns is one I'll take.
So as you mentioned it, Kelechi
The white one
Abs,
is all right. Rhea Ripley's one is all right, but still.
Kelechi Abs, what are you man saying about the new belt designs?
So
For me, it's the opposite.
go on, Kelechi.
Yeah, for me, it's the opposite because I don't know, that big W sign in Roman Reigns one now, it's just getting old. Like, I know they need to have it there for the branding, but come on, man. You see how good the AEW one is? Like, it's just original and it looks like super.
What?
Keanu doesn't like it.
You don't like it?
The AEW
Bro.
one is terrible.
It's the best
That
belt
is-
out, bro.
it's the
It's
best
terrible,
one.
man. It looks
Best belt around.
old. It looks ugly, man. It looks
Nah.
old and ugly. Nah, man.
No, that's just hating.
The gold looks stained. Like it just looks fat for no reason. Nah, man. It's terrible. It's terrible, man.
So
Yeah,
that one's
something-
bad. That one's bad, but Seth Rollins one is cool, yeah.
But wait, you didn't. You didn't even let me answer, friend. I don't like it either. But guess what? I don't like Roman's or Seth's.
Ooh.
I don't like either of them. The only belts I like is the women's belts. They're the only ones I like.
But the same
Those are
design though.
I don't
What,
care.
you just like the white background.
The white offsets the way the white makes it look. It makes it look better than how Roman's one does, and Seth's one I just don't like it for the same reason that Ma don't like it. Like it's just big and clunky. But Roman's one, the way that the gold has to pop more, like it's not significant enough for me. If there was more gold, I'll be like cool. But you either have to have more gold or more black. It's one of the two. But like they've done like the same tone for them. It doesn't look right.
So this is the first thing I say. Like, I want to see the belts in person. Like on TV, it's a bit different, and when you see it on your computer screens and stuff like that, they probably don't look as good. But in person, I think Romans is gonna look really good. The first thing I'm gonna say is Miles gets at me for my buying habits. Wait, you're spending £450 again on another title belt for no reason, and you're getting at me? I'm just
So
saying.
you have to build a collection, man.
Yeah, but honestly, do you know what? I do like the fact that WWE have an element of consistency. Like we always get on to them, especially when it comes to like the draft and whatnot, where it's like, okay, you this person's on this brand, but then they appear on it. When it comes to title belts, you can slowly see there's an element of consistency, and it's just a matter of time where they change the tag team title belts to like one belt instead of two belts and stuff like that. Like I think they're going to unify the women belts with the NXT ones. So there's a model of consistency that they're going to go around where everyone keeps that undisputed line and stuff. And I think that's pretty good. Like I'm happy with that. The designs again, like they seem to have a certain formula that's working for them now. But again, like give it a couple more years, they're going to switch that formula up where they probably have new branding and stuff. But right now, it fits with the model because the Raw women and the Raw World title look exactly the same to a point. Same with the SmackDown's belts. So you see the differentiation. I'm not mad at it, but I do want to see them in person. And if Romans is as good as it is, I might be with Miles on spending $450 at London.
I mean, guys, if we're being honest, yeah, both of them are trash. Because if you look back in the day,
I respect it.
In the grand scheme of things, both of them are trash. Because the big gold that we had back in the day, bro,
but you know what they were. You know what they were doing though. They was like, "Ooh, nostalgia." Like, give them a bit, but make it modern by slapping something big fat on.
This is the thing though. Like back in the day, like for example, Cena's belt. That was like Cena's belt, but personality of Cena in there, and then you had Edge switch it up with the Rey Raw stuff, and then I remember Daniel Bryan did his belt with the vegan stuff. So there was an element of like personality in there. Right now, or character.
That was hilarious though.
So you had that, and then you even had Bray Wyatt's funky belt that he did. So they allowed like the belts to have the character of the people. Right now, it feels like he's undisputed. He's world champion. He's the world women's title. Take them as they are, and we can brand it that way. So you're not gonna get what we had with Cena type of thing anymore, but it's all right. Like you said, realistically, collectors right. They're not the most glamorous of belts, but we can work with it because it's the people who hold the belts that make it work.
Miles, what was you about to say?
I was gonna say, of all the belts that need changing, it's those tag team belts. Ugliest belts ever. And Kevin and Sammy are holding them up like they're nice and get rid of them.
No, I hope like as they've done it every week, like they've done a new rebrand. I hope next week
I'm praying. Undisputed, whatever. Just give them one belt. But just change it.
100%. Because
I think what will probably happen, they'll probably be belts that will be changed after SummerSlam because they'll probably defend them, and then you'll have like a presentation after SummerSlam to be like, here are your new tag team belts, and
why then?
Here you go. Because
no, we need it now.
I don't think it can't happen before unless they defend it, because otherwise it's just like we're just throwing random belts.
Everybody else didn't defend theirs, and they just got new belts. Like obviously Romans made sense because it fed into the whole 1,000 days. Like Rhea and Oscar, spoiler, got their new belts like after they had either won them or defended them. So like even though there's a weak discrepancy, I mean, on the previous week of Raw, Sabi and KO defended their belts, so they could easily get it this week. There's no reason as to not to.
I wouldn't be against it. Like
Yeah.
I think they need to do it because if everyone else is holding one belt, why are you guys holding two?
Exactly, man. As I already alluded to, as I just said a second ago, we have also a new women's champion. Asuka has beat Bianca Belair at Crown Jewel. How do we feel? Firstly, it's been very stated on this podcast that we never bet against Bianca Belair. So the one time that obviously
Then we
we
both
decided
did.
to, we decided to bet against, obviously bet side with Bianca Belair. She loses. So how do we feel about Asuka's title reign coming to the beginning and Bianca's title reign ending? Miles, chat to me.
Yeah, Bianca's title reign ending. I always like when a title reign ends because even if I like the character or not, because it gives you a bit of a shake up, and Bianca's now doing some good work without the belt. I always feel that you don't need the belt to be a good. Well, if you need the belt to be someone who looks good to everyone, then you're probably not that good. So happy for the switch. Asuka is like, for me, you know how they presented Charlotte as the best women's wrestler going.
Say it.
I've
Please
always
say it.
thought it was Asuka.
Yes.
Yeah, Asuka
Yes.
is the most talented. She's the best, and every time they put a belt on her, I'm like, yes, that makes sense. She is gifted in the ring.
100%.
So as for this change, yeah, very happy with it.
No one will ever sing Oscar's praises louder than
She's
me.
the best.
I promise
She's
you.
great. She's the greatest.
Like, people will look at me crazy. Obviously, we're going to speak about the person that you just mentioned because that also person decided they wanted to come back as well. But like, let's be honest now, man. Like, sometimes I say Oscar is top 2 and she's not 2, and people think I'm crazy. But like,
She's the best.
I'll stand on it. Like, people have not seen her in the ring for real, bro. Like, whether it's just you just watch the WWE stuff or whatever, like, bro, I promise you, this one is the truest truth in the booth. I'm telling you.
So this is what I said. Like you guys know, for me, Bianca's female John Cena. I said it for years, and I'll still stick by it. So I'm a bit disappointed because I wanted her just to continue. I want to see how long it goes before it's like, okay, now we're bored. Because I wasn't bored of Bianca being champion. If anything, for me, it was rising her stardom. Like every time I saw, I was like, yo, the reactions are getting better. The production on her entrances, everything tells me she's a star. So it was like randomly abrupt when it just ended, and it's just the fact that it ended at Saudi, which confused me a bit more. But like you guys say, what I'm all right with is Asuka being a heel. I'm a bit bored of face Asuka because it was always the constant that the promos weren't. Again, like I said, because of the language barrier, the promos are going to be a bit more trickier. But it was always like the same thing was always going to be no one's ready for Asuka. And then if she would lose, I'd be like, well, we were ready for you because we beat you type of thing. So your line doesn't make sense because you lost. But now it'd be interesting to see where she goes. But obviously we'll do previews and stuff about Money in the Bank. But there's one woman in the females Money in the Bank that I'm looking forward to winning, hopefully. And that would be fun. But yeah, for now, it's cool. It's a vibe, but we'll see how far it goes. Because like you mentioned, one woman came back and I'm not happy about it.
Speaking of that woman, real quick, Kalechi, obviously the Queen, Charlotte Flair, decided she wanted to come back from obscurity after losing at WrestleMania. How do you feel about the Queen being back and essentially jumping the line as she always does to try and get a title shot?
Thing is, mate, she's Charlotte Flair, man. She said it herself. Like, she doesn't.
That's it.
She makes the line. Like, she's the GOAT of the women's wrestling side. I can't lie. So to have her and Asuka is a very good battle, I must say, because Charlotte is just a premium wrestler, man. Like, she just makes everything look good. And I know you guys don't like Charlotte, but for me, I don't know. She's just at the top of her game. Like, I know she's getting stale, but it doesn't get.
We respect Charlotte on the podcast. I think.
Oh,
it's
you're
just
okay. Fair enough.
We respect Charlotte. It's like, listen, you can't watch her matches and not have respect for what she's done in there. 100%.
Yeah,
I think
she just makes her opponents look really good as well at the same time.
Yeah,
like, it's not all about her.
When we did the Mania preview, when we did the Mania review, like we watched that match with Rhea. What did we all say? We said the first 10 minutes was slow, and then it was like, oh, you lot want to move us from being the main event, cool. And then they did everything and was like, that should have been the main event. But it's just the thing of it's always happened. Like that's all it is with Charlotte. Like we just keep doing it, keep doing it. Like we have new faces around. Like let's just try new things and do
Yeah,
different
that's
things. Like
fair.
we
That's
can
fair,
always come
but
back to Charlotte. That's the thing. Like if you do a title reign, a title defense, and you've done like 4 or 5 of them in a row, and then it's like, oh, who else there is to beat? And then Charlotte comes out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, cool. It is what it is. It's gonna be similar reactions, but it's like, hey, like it's Charlotte, man. Like what can we do? And
Please, who
ultimately,
else would you put in
my
this
main
situation right now?
say what?
If it wasn't Charlotte, who else would you get to come out and challenge Asuka for the belt?
You've got everybody there. Like,
You said everybody, bro. Give me names, man.
No, well, like, that's down to WWE to build some stars. They're
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
that
Like
too.
they
That too.
haven't done
Build
enough
someone.
yet to
Yeah,
get some.
I think
talent up.
they're in those stages, isn't it? That they're in those stages of building with me. But I think my thing is if you do Oscar and Charlotte again, Asuka has to win clean. She has to. I'm tired of
Yeah.
watching her lose to Charlotte, man. I'm
But
tired.
She needs to solidify herself as one of the top. I know she already is, but I mean, as to be a future Hall of Famer, like she needs to beat the best to be the best.
100%.
So,
100%.
yeah.
this is where, like, so they've got the match on Saturday and I mean Friday coming up, and this is where it's gonna go left. And what I mean by that is the match is gonna end where Bianca comes in, interrupts, and then it sets up for Money in the Bank. Because realistically, a triple threat there kind of makes sense because Charlotte's come jump the queue, Bianca's not happy about this, you end it in a DQ, and you get the triple threat at Money in the Bank, which adds a bit more sense to it. Because I get it, like, to be fair to Kelechi, the fact that you explained the fact where they did, like, Charlotte's the goat, she comes in, she's the line, etc. I understand it because that's her character. But I'll always say, like, I get why she's able to do what she's able to do, but I'm not the biggest Charlotte fan. Like, I do get a bit bored seeing it because it's just repetitive to a point, and I'm like, you're right. Maz, to be fair, is right. Like, you need to build stars, so then it's not repetitive with Charlotte. But at the moment, it is a bit. But the only difference is if you can make that triple threat, it adds a bit more character to Bianca and this new change that she's chasing the belt now as well.
No, I hear it. I hear it. Speaking of things that's not repetitive and unfresh, the Bloodline. There's a lot going on with the Bloodline.
The main event.
The main
Let's get
event.
to it.
Main event for real. Like, I mean, as we said, we've been away for a while. We missed the kick that was heard around the world. Jey Uso, not Jay, Jimmy Uso,
Jimmy.
decided he wanted to be like, I've had enough. Kicking this guy in the face. Kick Roman in the face in Saudi. And they lost, or they failed to beat the KO and Sammy for the tag team championships. And boy, it's been cooking. Miles, what are you thinking about how this story's been progressing, man? Because a lot is happening right now, and there seems to be like a lot of layers, even over the last like 2 to 3 weeks.
A lot is happening. I'm just a little bit worried about what the presentation of where the story is going to be at Money in the Bank. A little bit worried because I need it to be something big. We don't have a match. We don't have anything yet. So
And Roman is advertised.
yeah, I'm tentatively waiting to see what on earth it's going to be. It's looking like it might be a Jay versus Roman or Jimmy versus Roman, or I like in the back of my mind I've got like a handicap thing going on. I don't know, but I'm just like, can you make it something big, please? Because this is a big show for me. Like I need a massive like so
Oh,
far.
Maz,
So
let,
far,
let me
I don't
break
have a
it down.
event yet. I don't have a
Mar said I don't care about whatever is going
Arsenal,
on
no,
over
no,
there.
give me
I just need to
something I
see.
want.
I just need something for me.
From me.
Okay.
For me.
Listen,
Something that
Miles-
progresses the story well.
Miles,
Don't make this a another house show. Make it a proper show. Make it a Clash at the Castle where we all thought my man was going to win, and then Roman just flips it. Like I need a mad story that the following day we're all coming on here screaming like, "Yo, did you see what happened?" That's what I need. And if WWE let me down, I'll never buy a
No,
ticket.
listen,
All
Miles,
that-
this is why I am here as an honorary booker to tell you how this is going to play out. We're getting the tag team match that everyone needs: the Usos versus Roman and Solo, and the shock factor will be
Wait, what?
this is what's going to happen at Money
It's
in
not
the
gonna
Bank.
happen.
We're
No,
going to
no.
get the tag team match because Jay can't switch up. Like he hasn't made his decision, and Roman's on SmackDown on Friday. So we're going to get that. That's going to be that moment that Jay makes his decision, sorry, and sticks with Jimmy. And we're going to get that tag team match. And this is where the Usos at Money in the Bank shock the world and beat Roman and Solo. But again, Roman won't get pinned because he can't get pinned. But it will be
I'll-
Solo that's going
I'll
to be that moment, and then we continue on to SummerSlam where Roman's still advertised. But
I'll
this
do
is
you one better.
unbelievable.
I'll do you one better. We go full circle. We get Jimmy versus Roman for the title, and then obviously shenanigans is gonna happen, and we put Jay in a position where he has to choose. I think, like, I hear the tag match, but I think you don't do a tag match again because they just did one. But I think you do singles match. You put Jimmy in. I keep mixing up Jay and Jimmy.
Yeah,
Jimmy
who do you
in the
mean, Jimmy or Jay?
I mean
Jimmy.
Jimmy. I
Okay,
mean
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Jimmy
Oh,
versus
Jimmy.
Roman. Yeah, Jimmy
Okay.
versus Roman. That's what I think. You put Jimmy versus Roman for the title, and then you obviously the shenanigans will happen, and then you put Jay in a position where he has to choose between saving Jimmy or helping Roman, and then at that point we progress the story, however it chooses to branch.
It has, like, for me, the only way this story works is if Jay sides with Jimmy. Like, I can't have him side with Roman because then it loses for me and all credibility, because the whole idea with Jay and Jimmy is through thick and thin, they are together. Like, they've always done things for each other, and they've kind of alluded to it. So it makes for me like Jay has to be with Jimmy. Whenever that decision comes, it has to be for him. Like, but I said this before, and I think we touched on it, the fact that Jimmy has to get the beat down first from Roman for Jay to be able to realize I've got to make that move, because Jimmy's not had the beat down. When he gets the beat down, he realizes you don't mess with the tribal chief, but it issues that PTSD, basically PTSD for Jay to realize 2 years ago this was happening to me, and I can't allow my brother to go through the same type of thing.
Clergy, what do you think?
I was gonna ask, who do you see more as the star, Jay or Jimmy? Because for me, it's Jimmy, and I'll explain why. But
No.
As
it
in
used to
terms
be
of
Jay for me.
in terms of right now, or in
Yeah,
terms of the
right,
whole
right
story.
now. Yeah,
Oh,
not the whole story, right now,
Right now Jimmy's doing like the
bro.
most. He's doing the most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jimmy's doing bits. But yeah, I'll explain
No.
because he stands up to Roman. Jay is a sheep to me. He just follows what's popping. Like Jimmy is his own person. He does what he wants. And for me, if you want to be that top star, you have to go on your own orders, your own calls. And
Kelechi,
for me,
Oh,
Kelechi,
Jay,
you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
nah,
You're wrong.
Jay's just not doing it, is he?
You're wrong. I'll tell you why. Because if we're talking about their characters up until now, the real one who stepped out of line was Jay.
yeah.
And so Jay stepped out of line, got beat down for it in the lockdown era when there was no one in the stadiums, to the point where once he jumped into what Roman was doing, he had to jump in hard because he's been so over there, and now he had to be in. Now it's taken Jimmy so long. He's been like, oh yeah, my Roman cousin. Now all of a sudden he has a backbone, and now Jay is like, boy, trying to tell him that, look, I've been beat down by Roman. I know what it is to get embarrassed, humiliated. Because when Jay was deciding whether he was going to be Roman or not, Jimmy was injured. Remember, so Jay was taking all the beat downs, all the this, all the that. So in terms of those two characters, Jay has been the one who has stepped out of line
Oh
most.
yeah, because he's been in it more. But what I'm saying is, in terms of being that top guy, Jay hasn't really showed me anything that he can step out of Roman's shadow and be the tribal chief. Like Jimmy's making his own calls, and he shows that he steps up to people if people wanna like come
That's
at him.
because that's because
Jay
Jimmy.
doesn't really do that. I know
Nah,
he's main event Jay, but he hasn't gone to that next level where he's like, oh, he did something mad,
no,
and he's
that's
like
yeah. I was gonna
Jimmy.
say,
He
go
was
on.
the one who did the kick, isn't it? He's making the orders, and for me, you've got to be the top star if you're going to be making calls like that.
No, but that's because Jimmy, like Maz said, and we said it before, that's because Jimmy doesn't know what he's actually doing. Like, he's believing that he can do what he can do because he's seen the way Sammy and Kevin are together, and they've gone out of line and they've been able to do their own thing. But the reality is, everything that we're talking about here is about Jay. It's Jay's decision. What's Jay going to do? Where's the next storyline for Jay? We know what
Oh
Jimmy's
yeah,
doing.
we know WWE. They
Jimmy,
want Jay to be that person because he was the one who had
Jay
the
for
United
me will
States title
always
match.
be the star, and
Yeah,
but it takes a Jimmy beatdown for Jay to become that guy again. But again, that for me, what's amazing is the fact that Solo's still there. Like, Solo's doing his thing slowly, And that's for me, as much as we know where Jimmy and Jay can be, like, where does Solo go? Solo reminds me of that guy who's literally the third younger brother, and he's got somebody in his family who, and the two brothers who are twins do their own thing. They've always done their own thing. He's been born like 5 or 6 years later. He can't really click with them, so he sticks with the older cousin or uncle or whatever, and he's always idolized him more than his brothers. But eventually he'll switch. But I can't lie, Jay for me is such a star. Like, he can't be world champ, unfortunately, but I'd love it if he could.
Yeah, but what is Jay doing that Jimmy's not doing? I think they both can be the tribal chief at this point. But I just feel like from what Jimmy showed in terms of being the authority, then it's got to be him for me. But I know
we don't even know if we don't even. That's I think that's the word. Or another good thing is we don't know if there could be a possibility that we could have more than one tribal chief. Like, as brothers, they could share the title as tribal chief. We never know, but it's just a question of where the story gets. But I just wanted to add on to this last point for what you were saying in regards to why it's also so deep as well. In terms of, like, you calling Jay a sheep, I think it's different for these guys because we're talking about family. We're talking about loyalty to family. Like, not even like in the sense of just like that's literally my brother. Like, that's literally my cousin or my brother. Like, in Samoan culture, that's massive over there. So, and even just in wrestling in general. So for them, the loyalty and the level of distrust that you could see how much. I think we was harping on about why this thing with Sammy and Roman and the Bloodline went on for so long, because they hold like trust and loyalty so close to their hearts. It's like, no, you actually betrayed like my family. Like, you infiltrated, assumed the role that wasn't yours, and played us as if you was like really like down with us, and then you turned on us. Like, nah, that's not how it works around here. Like, you're getting your ass beat up every time. Like, it's on site every time we see you. That's what it is. But I think there's so much more that we can get from this storyline. Obviously, we're trying to do a new format now. We're trying to try keep things short for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Keep things nice and compact. So we're gonna wrap up.
Concise.
Concise. But listen, we'll be back again soon because Money in the Back is around the corner. So we got a preview coming up very, very soon. So, make sure you look into that as well. Make sure you subscribe to like, comment, share, all them good things. All everybody's handles is right here. So lock in with all of us. Ask us stuff on Twitter or TikTok. All them things there. And we'll catch you again for another Future Endeavours podcast.
Who told you bad man don't dance?